Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, there are 332 days until Christmas 2021. Oh, my goodness. We have some news today. I think great news concerning The Mandalorian Season 3 and so a few other topics to bring up related to The Mandalorian and then the High Republic and some other stuff. So just to say good morning, we've already said hey in the chat to a few folks. Of course, we had Lord Vito, first one in. Oh, my goodness. And Park Outdoors, thank you so much. And then I saw Dale. Oh, canceled. That's right. Target canceled Santa's order. Oh, how dare they. And then we'll talk more about that in a little bit. General Kenobi. Oh, thank you so much for being here. Oh, XR Coon. Hello. Regular Gray. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for being here, Gray. And good morning to you out further on the West Coast Nerdvana side of the things. And one of our great supporters. Thank you so much for being here. And General Kenobi, Christmas, life day is not over yet. Well, for Santa, it's Christmas 365 days a year, 366 on leap years. Oh my, that's we're always Christmas here. It's going to be used to introduce the Rangers TV series. Oh, perhaps so. I think so. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Great, that opening. Oh, thank you so much, Gray. And again, just huge thanks to Russell for building that for me. And just, I am thrilled to death with it. And I love it so much. Thanks so much. And Will Morgan, hello. We have Meta Egg in the house. Thanks for being here, Will. And oh, there we go, Gray. Listening to Light of Jedi again to prepare for a discussion. That's right. I'm trying to put together a panel discussion to go through Light of the Jedi, and we'll do it in a very spoilery kind of way. We'll dive deep into the content, and we'll get a panel to discuss different perspectives and different takes. And I've invited a guest, and we'll see if I can get some traction on that as well. So hoping to get Gray and a couple other folks. And so ideally, there'd be 4 of us in total for the panel, and looking forward to having that discussion. So that'll be great. Without further ado, let's get into a little bit of the topics of the day. As you notice in the thumbnail, Target canceled my order of my Dark Ray Black Series figure. I am not happy about that at all. And, they've been sending me updates saying, hey, your order has been delayed. Your order has been delayed. Please approve the delay. And I would approve it immediately. Yes, go ahead, delay it. Send it to me when you get it. This morning, I got the terrible news that they canceled the order entirely. And so Santa's taken his business to another vendor. Dorkside Toys got the order this morning, and I went ahead and placed my order for my vintage collection, Cara Dune, which was previously canceled by Walmart. I placed that order again, but haven't got any updates on that. Suspect they may end up canceling that. So I ordered another one through Dorkside just to be sure that I get one. And so trying hard to get those in. I've been watching Marvel's new show, WandaVision. Indeed, I have, General Kenobi. I've got Mrs. Claus to watch it as well. So far, 3 in. We're enjoying it. And, I'm enjoying being a normie in that and not being so deep into the lore and the Easter eggs and everything going on and knowing what's going on. I'm just taking the shows as they come and enjoying them quite a bit. Of course, being a member of the Den of Nerds and listening to Trinity's breakdown. Trinity's been doing a great job with Second Street Marvel. He's been doing a great job of diving into some of the details, as well as Josh. So I've been enjoying listening to that and getting more insider information from the real Marvel sweaties who are familiar with that. For Mrs. Claus and I, the first episode was probably our favorite, and each one has been a little less as it's going along. The last one felt a little disjointed and like it didn't really have a lot of direction for me, and it was still enjoyable for being able to tie it into some of the sitcoms we watched when we were younger, but it just hasn't really it clicked with me. So it's okay, and really looking forward to pick up steam and reveal the full story and get into it instead of these little sitcoms, although I'm enjoying those quite a bit. So there you go. There's our hero, Wu-Tang Wells, for that wonderful introduction. Thanks so much. The intro video. Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome. Yeah, Walmart canceled my Cara Dune vintage collection figure about a month ago or more, and I reordered it through them because I got a notice that they were taking orders again. And then after that reordered, I haven't gotten any updates, so I don't know if they're going to end up sending it or not. And then, do I think Geraldine is Monica Rambeau? Oh, I don't know who Monica Rambeau is. You're going to have to ask a Marvel insider. Trinity probably knows that answer. I'm just not in the know. Mike Porter, hello. Welcome for being here. Thanks so much. Let's see. Bob's your uncle. Bob, welcome for being here. Thanks so much for being here. Yeah, Wu-Tang Wells. Walmart's terrible for ordering things. Placed 4 orders and only received 1. I've been getting the orders, and in my toy unpacking and openings, I've covered how they're inconsistent with their shipping methods, and I've got another toy revealed to do this week that I got from Dorkside Toys last week, and we'll be opening that and reviewing the difference in how these different vendors or companies fulfill their orders, and looking forward to seeing that. It'll be another fun toy unboxing. So let's see. We've got Dark Winter. Hello again, Captain Marvel, talking about is that what you're meaning up here, Monica Rambeau? Monica Rambeau? I don't know. I am clueless. Gray says she is Monica. Walmart canceled about 6 G.I. Joe and Star Wars pre-orders, so I went ahead and canceled the other 3. I understand, Will. So I want to get into some Mandalorian news, and so here's the outline for our discussion today. The first is season 3 filming starting April. Last week they were talking about filming starting in August, and I was a little disappointed by that because I thought that they were going to start right after they finished production with Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, and I understood that was going to be somewhat short, just based on what Favreau had said in his Good Morning America interview. And my impression was that they were going to start up with The Mandalorian season 3 right away. And when they said August, I was disappointed because I thought that there was a chance we would do production in the spring and do the post-production through the summer and maybe get it right after the Book of Boba Fett, early 2022 instead of late 2022. And so this news of The Mandalorian season 3 starting production in April is perfectly in line with what I'd hoped before. Before I thought maybe as early as February, but April is still consistent with that time frame, and it's looking like we'll get that in early 2022 instead of late 2022. So just want to season 3 of the Book of Boba. The Book of Boba bulbs. The Book of Boba is they started back in November. In early December, they were in production for the Book of Boba Fett, and they were supposed to pick up then with season 3 of Mando right after they finished that production. So that's what it looks like. That as soon as the space frees up in the volume, that round theater that they project the LED screens onto, and of course we know they're building more of those sets around the world, that as that space frees up and then as the resources become available, they'll roll on to the next series. So Mandalorian season 3 was the next one up, and it looks like they're going to jump right into those studios and start that right away. The Dark Winter. Monica is a former Captain Marvel with the Avengers. Oh boy. Okay, you guys are just losing me. uh, 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 Reaction to the High Republic mess. I want to talk about the High Republic mess in just a little bit. We'll get into that. Monica's the little girl in Captain Marvel. Oh, okay. I remember. Yeah, that had her jacket. I remember that. Very good. Matt, hello. Oh, got another new listener to the show. Thanks for coming on today. Good to have your support. We really appreciate it. 2022 so far away. I know, Gray. I know, but we've got things to look forward to in 2021, including we haven't heard anything recently on when we might get the Bad Batch animated series. I thought that was going to come earlier in the year, like May, and haven't seen that release date. I think we're still within the window of that coming out as early as May. So hopefully that's going to be good. Yes, March is about to be insane. You're not kidding, Park Outdoors. So let's see. Let's get caught on any word about Kenobi or Andor. I've not seen anything about that production. I know that there's a great big set that they built for Andor that looks very exciting. So that's an outdoor set that they're going to be doing some shooting there. And of course, there was the K2SO news that was not going to be in season 1 of Andor, or at least the actor who has been portraying K2 wasn't involved, and he said that the character wasn't going to be in there. I am still a little bit like holding out before I come to a full like, oh, they can't do Andor without K2. I love K2. Oh, he's one of my favorite droids of all time, and I just would hate to see them not continue that forward. So I hope that that's the case, that they do include K2. And then Kenobi is supposedly supposed to start this spring in its production. So probably real close to when Mandalorian season 3, and we'll get Kenobi shooting almost the same time, or perhaps the same time. I know it's another year. It'll come out during the second quarter of 22. Maybe so. Great. I like the High Republic. I do too so far. Overall, it started off on a good note. Again, I gave Light of the Jedi a B+ grade, and I am enjoying it. Oh, thanks, Dale. More likes, please. We're trying to get our members up here. The subscribers here, we just crossed 200. That was a great thing we were able to celebrate yesterday. And so now the march is on to 300 and then onward towards 1,000. That's where we hopefully get. Invincible finally got a date. I don't know anything about that. Bad Batch is summer. Yeah, I was thinking May. So it could be a little bit after that. Super excited for Bad Batch. I am too. It's great to get some more animated stuff. It's disappointing when I keep hearing things come out live action. And, I understand why they would do that. But, I like animated stuff as well. And it would be great to get more animated content other than the Bad Batch. And then, of course, they've announced a couple of other projects that are Visions that's going to be animated, but that's sort of retelling of old stories. I'd like to get some new content in animated format. Absolutely. The High Republic comic. Gray, I'm going to have to subscribe to a service. I was thinking about joining one of the services so that I could get those digitally. And so if you guys have any recommendations of how to get all of the Star Wars comics, or a bulk of it, what the best service for doing that is. There's Comics Unlimited. I see it there. And then there's also Marvel has their own digital service as well. So I'm not quite sure which of those is best for that at the moment. Let's see. Coincide with the Lego game release. I know no K2, so we share the same reaction there, Gray. I love K2. Like I said, maybe my favorite droid of all. Mando started. Yes, that's what April. That's what I have. We'll miss K2's humor. Yes, absolutely. K2 he's the best. absolutely the best. I think Andor would work better had he survived Rogue One. Yeah, yeah. Um, that was my concern. Like, why did they pick Andor in the first place? It's just because the actor was available, or what? I don't know that there was demand to see that story. But after seeing that little sizzler reel that they did back in Disney Investor Day, that looks to be really well done. And so my hopes are high. My hopes are really high, but I still don't know where the interest lies, being that we know the outcome of all of these characters, and where does it go? And if you're not going to have K2 in there, well, I don't know. Again, I'm going to hold out a little bit of hope. Kenobi already started filming. Oh, I haven't seen that. Everyone relax. Reefer Man's here. Oh, everybody can chill because Reefer Man is on the case. Good to have you here. Why would K2 appear on Andor? He's a droid created by the Empire, and Andor reprogramming. Nothing special about his backstory. I think we just love him, Bob. His humor, sarcasm. He's just a great droid, and it would be great to have him involved. But I guess you make a good point there that maybe he wasn't with Cassian at the time, and so it may not fit in to have him there. So let's see. You guys are going into chat really quick. Invincible is an indie comic that's getting a Prime Video. Oh, okay. Very good. I was hoping that I've been looking forward to somebody doing another animation in the style of Prince. What is it? Dragon Prince. That is a fantastic animated series, the Dragon Prince, and I would love to see. I wanted to see them do the rumored they're doing a live action Harry Potter on for HBO. I was like, well, why didn't they do it as an animated Dragon Prince style? They could do so much in that realm, in the magical world of Harry Potter would be fantastic in that style. But who am I? Finnick introduces Finnick. I love Finnick Shand, and I look forward to seeing her in the Book of Boba. Free digitally on Prime, maybe buy the paper ones. Okay, I'll have to look. Let's see, March 3rd. Hold on, let's see. Yes, March 5th. Mando shoot date. Right, it's coming. That was the news. No, it's not March. It's April 5th, I think. April 5th, not March 5th. Will it involve Din? After all, Cassian was a separatist. The timing is, I suppose, the timing doesn't work at all. We know that Cassian Andor, it has to end at A New Hope. So Din wasn't born until after the Empire Strikes Back. No, well, I guess he was born. He would have been a child. So I mean, it could have Din just as a little boy, but I don't know that we'll get much of it. Let's see. Andor takes place during Rebels season 1. Would you like the Harry Potter series to follow events after Deathly, or see a prequel series? What I've been wanting is an animated series that runs through the books, like chapter. Each episode would be a chapter of the book and tell the book story more thoroughly in an animated form. For a live action, it might be good to do similar to Cobra Kai, where the parents are minimally involved and it takes place in their children's lives as they're going through Hogwarts. So for me, it would be in that time frame. Let's see. 3:30. Reefer Man. Din was 5 years old during the Clone Wars. Yeah. Din's home was attacked during the Clone Wars. Might have been the same world. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. So we caught up. The second is this deal about Cara Dune and Gina Carano. There's a big uh, hubbub made over Gina Carano. Is she being erased from the Mandalorian season 3? Is she going to be removed? Is she going to be replaced? Gina Carano going to be replaced with another actress so we can continue Cara Dune's story with another actress? Has Gina become toxic? Is she bad for the franchise and all of this? There's all kinds of videos out there about it. And let me just kind of real quick, if you haven't kept up with the story of what's going on, let me bring this over here and show you all this picture. This is a painting that was done for Gina Carano, that brought up this whole controversy. What it originally had was Gina Carano where Ahsoka is. And then they were contacted by Lucasfilm Disney Plus to say, hey, replace Gina Carano with Ahsoka, because Ahsoka was received so critically well and she's so popular in the fan base as a whole. Now, you got to remember, when The Mandalorian started, it's drawn in fans that have no clue who Ahsoka Tano is, right? Most of us do. We're huge fans of Ahsoka. We've seen her for years. We followed her story along through the Clone Wars and Rebels, and get to see her in The Mandalorian was great. But originally, Cara Dune was the carryover character from season 1, season 2, and fulfilled the spot in the picture. And they were told, with the popularity of Ahsoka, let's put her in instead of Cara Dune. And they said, don't read into it too much. If you go back to the original artist, when he was talking about this whole thing, he said, don't read too much into it. That was just the popularity of Ahsoka that made them make this decision to replace her in the picture. Well, then I heard all kinds of complaints. Well, why did you put Morgan Elsbeth in there, for Pete's sake? She barely shows up at all, and she's not all that popular. Nobody can even remember her name. Oh my goodness. Why would you have her in there? Well, the reason is, look at the picture. You've got 2 allies on this side, 2 adversaries on that side. You've got ground transportation on this side, ground transportation on that side. You've got a mountain on this side, a mountain on that side. It's about balance in the picture. So on one side, you've got the allies, the other side, the adversaries. Here you've got X-Wings, over here you've got TIE fighters. Right? It's this juxtaposition across from each other. How could you put Cara Dune instead of Morgan Elsbeth? You can't. So the picture is about balance. If you wanted to add a third character, who would be the third character? So let's say we kept Cara Dune in here, right? So we add, we have got Grief Karga, Cara Dune, and Ahsoka. Who's the third character you put on the other side? You got, Moff Gideon, Morgan Elsbeth, and then who would be the other? I just don't know. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you get all in a tizzy about this? And I see what you guys are saying here in the comments. And Second Street Marvel, Trinity, they've been having a Marvel discussion in my chat that I just don't know enough about. So I'm sure if you guys want to talk about WandaVision in the chat, and ask Trinity the questions. Trinity is the man with the answers. He can do a much better job of it than I can. So let's get caught up. Yeah. So, Mike Porter, you're bringing up the point that I'm kind of going to get to in a roundabout way. Is the Star Wars community that toxic? There's a few people acting up. They argue more on Twitter and anywhere else. Yes, you're right. What we have, if you just go out in the world and you walk around and talk to people, you'll find people who love the sequel trilogy and people who don't. And when you have discussions with them, they tend to be very cordial, because you're talking to somebody and they're not just out there, spouting all kinds of nonsense. I've got a real close friend, been friends with him for 20 years, and going on 20 years, and he does not like The Last Jedi a bit. Not a huge fan of the sequels as a whole, but and his primary complaint is with Luke Skywalker. We'll talk about him more here in a moment, but these people on Twitter, especially in any social media, we talked about a little bit yesterday, where it's a tinderbox out there. The kindling is dry. The forest floor bed is ripe for fire, and it just takes the smallest little match to send everything ablaze. And that's what we keep seeing in the Star Wars fan base, that there are some bad actors involved, and some of them with quite large followings, that they're able to light a match at the drop of a hat and set another blaze, just an inferno. And that's what we keep seeing happen over and over and over again. And hopefully over time, and I'm seeing more and more of it, people are just getting tired of it. Seeing some of it in the Den of Nerds where they're like, hey, I just unsubbed to some stuff because I'm so sick of it. And you see, I'm also in like Star Wars Explained, their Discord, and they're also saying, hey, that is, we've had enough of it. We need to promote more channels that are more positive or, better rounded. So I think it's a relative small number. The problem is that there's enough of them that when they start, it's a bit of a circular process. All of them create news based on each other, and becomes a huge circular argument. And with the followers they have, the fan base they have, the subscribers they have, they're able to ignite that kindling really, really quickly. So that's where it comes from. I stand Gina Carano. Oh, I like Gina Carano too. I think she's doing fine. And sure, she's gotten herself into all kinds of stuff on Twitter, but you have to understand who she is as a person. Just she's not going to play by somebody else's rules, and she just refuses to. So don't just get too worked up over that. It gets confusing with the toxicity. To try to stay uninformed and neutral. That's me with Marvel, uninformed and neutral. Yeah, Mark. I like Cara Dune character, but she's no Ahsoka. Mountain out of a molehill. That's exactly right, Mark. And the whole deal with Cara Dune is making a mountain out of molehill. The picture itself, and I saw somebody comment on here, and I think it might have been you. Will Rangers be a girls get it done show? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that too. But no, I don't think it will. I think Rangers going to be a little of everybody. Couldn't they remove Grief Karga? They could have, Bob. So they very well could have put in Cara Dune and Ahsoka here. And then could you imagine the people outraged over feminism? Oh, we've got too many women on the picture. I don't know. It's just the people are going to find reasons, right? People are going to find reasons. You've removed diversity. You placed a black man with a white woman. What's wrong with you people? Right? This is how it goes in Twitter. If somebody can make a story out of something, they will, whether it's true or not. Right? Oh, they replace Cara Dune with Ahsoka, and all of a sudden, Cara Dune's canceled, right? Because of Gina Carano. It's just nuts, right? It's nuts. People are crazy. They just need to get over it. Regardless what your personal opinions are regarding Gina Carano, look, the character is widely followed by fans. They're not just going to drop her because she's, being herself on Twitter. I think it's a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's baddies on one side. Right. Thrawn. Well, Thrawn eventually maybe. The picture shows balance in the Force. Oh, perhaps so. Again, it's people injecting their own politics into nothing story. Exactly. Faux outrage for clicks. That's right. It gets views, and then people start to. My problem with the whole thing is people then start to believe it, right? So they get this news. If you're just a normie kind of following along, you're like, oh no, I heard that they've canceled Cara Dune. She's not going to be continued in this series. Well, there's no truth to that. Right? It's just people speculating, making stuff up, and reading tea leaves that don't exist, right? So it's terrible. Grief Karga appeared in only one episode. Cara's been in 4. Right. Cara is a good character. I would expect that they will continue her character forward, in that she will be involved in the Rangers of the so I wouldn't get too worked up about it. There could be a random stormtrooper or one of those dark troopers, right? So you could have had Cara Dune in there, Moff Gideon, a dark trooper, and Morgan Elsbeth. That could have worked, right? Pershing could have been there. Sure. Delete Twitter. Solved. Did you watch it? Yes, I did, General Kenobi. I've shared that here. That's the first movie I recollect seeing in theaters. Shortly followed by Superman. Right after that. So my 10th birthday was 1977, and the first movie I remember seeing in theaters was that great big Star Destroyer coming across the screen, chasing the Tantive 4. Oh my goodness, that just changed my life. It was wonderful. So yes, I did. I think a lot of people were indifferent to Star. Trinity gets it. Trinity gets it. Drama free here, right? I want to. I want to bring up another point here. I just get caught up here real quick. On the last episode of Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker scene, I think the digital face of Luke wasn't perfect on purpose. His mystery was Luke. So R2. I don't know that it was on purpose. And, the nice thing about with the digital effects is over time, they can do the same thing that George Lucas did with the movies, is go back and tweak it as the technology gets better. As they get better at doing it, they'll go and they'll make his face look better and better and better. And over time, it'll become more believable than it was. So 4 men and 2 women on the picture. Oh no, what are we going to do? Twitter warriors remind me of Palpatine saying absolute power, right? With keyboard. Tom Cruise is crazy and not a good human being, right? But if I hate his movies or cancel, right? The only one who loses. Yeah, my wife despises Demi Moore. Despises her. It's so much so that even in Hunchback of Notre Dame, when Demi Moore is the voice actress, she won't watch it because she just hates her. Well, to each their own. Mike Porter. Mike Porter is one of the few folks in the community who are actually older than Santa. How do you like that? And we love to say that. Mike Porter is actually older than Santa Claus. How old does that make Mike Porter? Let's see if I get caught up. The all drama aside, the artwork is really cool. Yeah, I agree. So that's the drama with Cara Dune. I'll pull that off, and because there's another topic to get to here, and that's is Luke Skywalker, and what you guys mentioned in here. Why does Mrs. Claus hate Demi Moore? That's a long story, and primarily is just because of some of the things that she's done in her personal life and things that she said. It's no different than people with other actors or what they're doing now with like Gina Carano and others. Mrs. Claus just, there's things that Demi Moore has said and done that she just hates. And it just, to each their own. That's fine. Before social media, you had conversations with a handful of people. Now it tends to that. Right. Exactly. It amplifies the craziness. Exactly. Right. Right. Methuselah. That's right. Mike Porter is Methuselah. Right. So is and get your all's opinion as well. Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian season 2, he comes in and he is super strong, super powerful. He easily takes down all those dark troopers, and those troopers gave Din Djarin all he wanted. Right, one of those troopers gave Din Djarin more than what he wanted. Was whooping him really, really good, except for that Beskar spear. Din Djarin was in bad shape. And Luke Skywalker comes in and just slices through him like a hot knife through margarine. He just melts right through it. So no problem. But so is that Luke Skywalker giving a thumb to the sequel Luke Skywalker and retconning it, saying we're going a different direction. Are we going to replace the sequels because we're portraying Luke Skywalker as a hero, as a strong guy, not as a quitter, as a grumpy old man hermit living on an island. So here we've got proof. There's retconning the sequels. What do you all think? I think you'll get my opinion, but what do you all think? I'll just get caught up with a couple here. Oh, start a petition to get Santa in Mandalorian season 4. Oh, Santa is in the Star Wars universe in Legends. There's a comic that's got Santa in it, so that's good. So here's my point. I think that Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian perfectly supports the Luke Skywalker we get in the sequel trilogy. There is no retcon there. He continues to be the same character. In fact, in the sequel trilogy, I don't see him in the same eyes that a lot of people do. I don't see him as a quitter, as a grumpy old hermit living on an island who gave up. I don't see that at all. I see a sacrificial and naive Luke Skywalker, somebody who gave up everything he loves, everything he cares about, in an attempt to save his nephew. He had naively bought into the idea that with powerful light comes powerful dark. As light rises, dark comes up to meet it, right? So some of the statements that you get from like Snoke, where dark rises, light comes up to meet it, or vice versa. Luke even says, with light comes dark. There's this idea that he had bought into, and he had been told that by Palpatine subconsciously for decades. And so the time period between Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian season 2 and the memory that Ben Solo has, or Kylo has, of him meeting in that tent, there's still a good 10 years in there, at least, maybe a little bit more, before Luke and Ben have that little scene. So we still have a while to go. And Luke has been buying into this with powerful light comes powerful dark. And there are going to be more things that help support that notion. And as he buys into it and doesn't realize the flaw in his line of thinking, it builds to this event. And the more power we see him with, the more success we see him with, it feeds this image of the all-powerful Luke Skywalker who can face down an entire fleet with just a lightsaber, right? Like that becomes what's embodiment that he buys into, and then he realizes that all of it is built on a house of cards, and that there's a big flaw in his logic, and so he sacrifices everything to try to keep Ben from getting more powerful in a dark side. So what we need is a powerful Luke. We need a Luke Skywalker who is still learning and growing, and it's like the biggest, baddest Jedi in the galaxy. That's what we need in order to get the Luke Skywalker we have in the sequel trilogy. So for me, that's the one supports the other, and it doesn't retcon it at all. So that's where I am on it. So yeah. What is it? Yeah, they're going to recontextualize, not replace. Right. So what I expect to see is at some point we're going to get a big dramatic event. And what we'll find out is that little memory that Ben and Kylo and Luke shared with Rey in The Last Jedi is only a small piece of it. And the piece that we have may not even be full or accurate. And so all they have to do is give more contextualization around that. Gray is exactly right here. They put more contextualization around what led to that moment, and what the full contextualization, what was going on in Luke's head, what was going on in Luke's life, what went on outside of that tent that led him to that event. And when you see that was a much, much bigger ordeal, that it wasn't that one thing, and you understand that he was sacrificing in an attempt to save Ben, not giving up because he failed. When you start to see that told, it'll recontextualize what you see in the sequels. It'll make a lot more sense with other things. So there's that. Bob, wrong. That's good. That's good. XR Kun, as much as I just don't care for sequels, it's canon, staying that way. Right. And XR Kun is a great guy. He and I disagree on a great number of things. And I've mentioned before, XR Kun likes to get on the naughty list because he likes to argue with Santa. But that's in a friendly way. I really like XR Kun and Wu-Tang Wells, even though both of them give me grief. And Mike Porter is another one who gives Santa grief from time to time and has to be called out for it. So, there you have it. Yeah. Thanks, Reefer Man. I just think it's cool that Luke almost went full Anakin on Kylo. Never go full Anakin, right? Never go full Anakin. That's good. Last night on Nerd Theory was discussing how Disney neutered Luke, trying to make a point. They're just trying to eliminate strong males. Did he forget Mando season finale? Oh, there's so much where I think that Theory he's jaded by it, right? And that's fine. I get where he's coming from, and he needs this contextualization. People like Theory, and I really realized this when I saw Theory's reaction to Luke in Mandalorian. They needed this Luke Skywalker. They need more of that story told so that they can see the fall recontextualized. They still might not like it, but when they see it recontextualized and realize the hero that he is, the self-sacrificing who gave up everything to save his nephew, not somebody who quit. When they see that, it'll make the story better for them. Again, they may never buy it. Right? They may never enjoy The Last Jedi because of the way that it tells that story. And I'll give them that. I don't think Rian Johnson did the best job of telling that story, even though it's in the documentary, in the making of. He explains that that's what's going on, but in the movie, it doesn't tell that well enough. So I think when they get this all built up at the end of the day, we're going to see that. And not only that, but we have seen manly men, right? Din Djarin is a manly man. There's no reason to say that he is less of a man, or that they're taking away the manly man, or that we've seen other really strong male figures in the Disney era of Lucasfilm. That those characters do exist, and one of them is Loden Greatstorm in the High Republic. Loden Greatstorm is a man's kind of man. Oh, he is a strong, powerful Jedi, and I think we're going to get more of that. Yeah, Josh was on point last night. I agree. Let's see. We get caught up. I think it'd be better if they just ignore the sequel and focus on the Mandalorian. I agree, Bob. There was a lot of things that they need to focus on. They need to get this built up and build to. And for the time being, I think it's best just to kind of let people in their own headcanon see that maybe there's parallel universes going on. Maybe there's other stories going on. Maybe there's other things going on. Don't strike anybody down, right? Don't come down and say your theory sucks or anything like that. That was poorly advised on Rian Johnson's part to say, your Snoke theory sucks. It's great when fans have theories. Don't go and just tear them down. Let them have the theories. Let the story evolve. Let the story reveal itself, and let them keep flowing with it. Don't push them. Let them come along. I think that's a lot much better. Shia LaBeouf. Oh, that would be a deep cut. Shia LaBeouf is cray-cray. I am not a fan of Shia LaBeouf. Oh, General Kenobi's got to go. Oh, thanks for being here, General Kenobi. It was great to interact with you today. Gray, so too, the term retcons being swung around like it means elimination. That's exactly right. We talk about that here frequently. Adam Driver will be Indiana Jones's son in the Indiana Jones 5. Oh, that would be great, but I don't think so. That's good. XR Kun vying for the 2021 Cole. XR Kun and Wu-Tang Wells, they enjoy it. They have a good time getting on the naughty list. They really do. Mike, what did I do this time? You didn't do anything this time, Mike, but you've done it in the past. You know it. If you guys hang around, you see Mike Porter picking at Santa every now and then. It's it's funny. Adam Driver could have played Ezra if he never played Ben, right? No, that's so, right. We're going to see way more to what broke Luke. Exactly, Mark. That's exactly right. How did he save his nephew? So the idea is with it's this: with powerful light comes powerful dark, and Luke Skywalker saw himself at the peak of the light. Right, he was the strongest force in the light in the universe, and saw that Ben kept growing in the dark, and he came to a conclusion that the light was like way up here, and the dark was coming up, and the only way to keep Ben from growing in the dark was to reduce the light. So by Mark giving up everything, sacrificing everything that identified him as being who he is, right? As being a Jedi, as being a Jedi master, as being the most powerful being in all the universe, as being connected in the Force to Ben and to Obi-Wan Kenobi and to Yoda and to his sister, and all the being able to communicate through the Force, cutting himself off, sacrificing everything he loves, everything that he is about, in order to lower the light so that Ben couldn't grow in the dark, was the most supreme sacrifice he could make, other than committing suicide himself, right? So he didn't do that. He just cut himself off from the Force. And what we see in The Force Awakens and in Last Jedi is this telling that he was cut off from the Force, right? And Yoda says, "Oh, I've missed you," right? Like Yoda wasn't able to communicate with him. Obi-Wan wasn't able to communicate with him. He wasn't able to communicate with Leia, right? So he had to sacrifice everything. How he saved Ben in his mind was that he was keeping Ben from growing more powerful in the dark, from slipping away further and being completely lost. And so that's what the thought was. Why did we expect a trilogy that started filming 2 years after being bought to be anything other than cash grab? yeah, there was definitely a cash grab going on. It was underbaked, right? So it just underbaked. Mike, I love you, man. Haven't seen Nerd 30 in a while. It's way too long. It starts too late. That's right. I have to watch it the next day on 2x speed in the morning. Have you ever seen the deleted Luke and Rey scene from Jedi about the villagers on the island? Yes, I did. That scene alone could have changed things. I agree, Will. And a lot of the things that Rian Johnson mentions in the documentary, he just doesn't deliver on screen, and he could have done a lot of things. Great Storm rocks for sure. Trying to figure out favorite. Trying to favorite type of pizza. Your favorite type of ice cream if you just tried ice cream for the first time, right? So it's the same way. Comic book steals and deals. Welcome. Oh, good to see you. Adam Driver is really good at being angry. That's true. He is really, really good. Everyday Geeks. Hey, thanks for the support. Appreciate you guys being here. Best Star Wars talk on YouTube. Oh, thank you so much, Comic Book Steals and Deals. I really appreciate it. And Mark Hamilton, thank you for posting the link to our Discord again. So I am one of the administrators of a new Discord server. It's right now kind of in its infancy. Mark has been contributing a great deal of content there and keeping it going. I've got my own channel in there. And what I am starting, and I've started it today, I'm going to start posting the topics of discussion for the next day's live stream, or for the current day's live stream. And this would be a perfect opportunity to join the Discord server. And if you have a topic that you would like me to discuss during the next live stream, post it and say, "Hey, Santa, talk about, whatever." And we'll put that in. There's a way for you to contribute into the topics that we discuss day to day. If you have a question you'd like me to answer, you have something you'd like to address, maybe build a video around, post it in the Discord server. And so that's where we're going to be doing these things. And I'll be posting the outline, topics of discussion, and interacting with you all after the live stream, before the live stream, and talking about wonderful, nerdy Star Wars stuff. Thanks, Mark. Let's see. The Kylo intro scene in The Force Awakens that intro scene in The Force Awakens is tight. It's really good. There's a lot of good things, in my opinion, in the sequel trilogy. And one of them is the payoff from Force Awakens to Return of the Jedi, or Rise of Skywalker. Between those two, when Kylo kills Han in The Force Awakens, and then when Ben talks to Han in The Rise of Skywalker, the parallel between those two scenes and the emotional gravity of that scene in Rise is one of the best moments in all of Star Wars, in my own opinion, right? And when you see Ben and Han having that discussion, the payoff in there is just, so good. So good. The Falcon chase. Some of those things are great, right? Tyler the Kid. Good to have you here. Thanks so much. I've been trying to catch one of his live streams. They just come in at awkward times sometimes. Yes, right. I'm like a younger brother. Yeah, you got to keep his. Yeah, didn't like the homeless wizard look. That's great, Mike. Prequels have the best duels. Well, that's probably true. And even if especially so if you loop in the Clone Wars animated series and that season 7 duel between Ahsoka and Maul. Woo! Oh man, I watched that over and over again. What a fantastic duel! Wow, it's just one of the best ever. One of the best ever. Best duels are in Clone Wars. Yeah. See, there we go. Mark, he's on there. The CW. Best duels are on the CW. You know, Supergirl. No. Snow notes, right? Instead of show notes, we'll have snow notes. That's good. Mr. Nobody. Welcome. Good to have you here. Heard Hayden will not only play Darth Vader, but Anakin. I've heard, not in Clone Wars, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. That's supposed to be the case. We're not so sure that he's going to be playing Vader as much, because what's the point? What's the point in putting Hayden in that suit, other than maybe showing like a split helmet or something like that with the helmet off? Otherwise, it could be anybody, just like we do in Mandalorian, where we've got multiple actors in the suit. It's, not, in fact, a majority of the time, it's not our main actor, Din Djarin. So seeing Kylo stop that blaster bolt, that was dope, right? No kidding. Holding the blaster was chilling in the theater. Yes, it was good. I heard Hayden. Okay, we just got that. Good, very good, Mr. Nobody. Watch that duel over and over again as well. Oh, the duel with Ahsoka and Maul. Wow. You can watch. I can watch that just on repeat. It is so good. And I've mentioned this before. There's a scene in there where they show her hand where she reverses the grip. So normally she's got it in that reverse grip, and she reverses it into, and they focus on that. And it's the first time you see that transition, at least that I'm aware of, in animated, where she flips it. Oh, tight. Really, really tight. I've been saying for all the new shows that between 3 and 4 are going to get connected larger than others, and some smaller, Lando and Andor. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Snow notes. That's good. I may have to do that. You guys like that. The Clone Wars flashback. Oh, that's it. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mr. Nobody. It would be Clone Wars flashbacks, right? Duel of the Fates is underrated. I don't know if it could be underrated because it is like one of the favorite of all time. Can the number 1 be underrated? I don't know. Oh, 501st flashback for sure. Okay, so I don't think Luke Skywalker in Mando retcons sequel Luke. The next is the rumor of the Solo crossovers. So characters from Solo movie Well, they cross over into the Mandalorian universe. And I think the obvious answer to that would be yes, they should. Oh, I don't know about Qi'Ra. We don't know where she is, what's going on with her at this time, necessarily in canon. But I would love to see her as well as Han Solo and Lando. We know there's the Lando off show, and that's supposed to be in this same Mandalorian universe, in the Filoniverse. And so I think absolutely we're going to get the solo crossovers in what they're now calling the Mandalorian universe, although most of us call it the Filoniverse. I think they don't do that at Lucasfilm because that's too much attention on one guy when Favreau's involved as a creative head there. So the Mandalorian universe in this timeline and all these spinoffs, absolutely, I'm confident we will see Han Solo, Qi'Ra, and Lando, or like Han Solo and Lando for sure. Qi'Ra, and as Mr. Nobody said, is probably killed by Maul. It's hard to say. It's really, really hard to say. Well, and I don't disagree at all. I mean, probably dead, right? She's probably dead. Mr. Nobody, funny. Luke Skywalker versus Kylo was the best duel. Duel of the Fates is like the most iconic song from Star Wars, other than the main theme or Imperial March. That's exactly right, Tyler the Kid. Right. As much as I love Ahsoka, the reverse grip looks cool, but it's stupid. You know, I've seen videos on that. Like, what a ridiculous grip to have. But it's an animated series, now live action, and it's fun, right? It is cool and it's unique. It's something distinctive to her, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. Right. Let's see. But Vader finds out about Luke, but keeps it secret from Palps. I agree with you, Mark. I absolutely agree. The reverse grip is really good for deflecting blaster bolts. Oh yeah, and it's good for rear defense. Like when you're holding it and the saber's up behind, she can defend. So it makes sense to me that maybe you would hold one in the reverse and one in the forward. So, and you see her do that from time to time, where she's got a saber in front and a saber in back. So yeah, you've got that. The next, and I talked about this just briefly at the beginning, is why can't Walmart and Target fulfill orders, these pre-orders? Twice now Santa has gotten orders canceled from big box stores. So the first one was with my vintage collection, Cara Dune order that I made with Walmart when we were back on the Mando Mondays and these great big reveals that Hasbro had scheduled, Hasbro Pulse. And by the way, there's a big reveal coming this Friday, and I've got a live stream scheduled. Look for it at 11 a.m. Eastern. This Friday, we'll be covering the Hasbro Live, the Hasbro Pulse live event, a bunch of toy reveals for Star Wars. So just to kind of tamper expectations a little bit, for those looking to get some of the really hot Mandalorian figures, probably not going to get much in the space of new spaces. Like Vintage Collection Quill, we've been wanting him for a long time, but he is not. We're probably not going to get him this Friday. Eventually, but probably not this Friday. So probably what we're going to get mostly this Friday is some Black Series figures. If you've been following at all on Twitter, Yakface is covering these. He does a great job keeping these fingers on the pulse of these toy releases. It looks like they're all going to be from the original or from the prequels, and they're going to be repaints. Figures that you may have already owned or can already purchase, but there'll be repaints, reissues of other figures with more detail, better kind of mechanics to them. So don't get your hopes too high. But I ordered some things on the pre-orders months ago, and Walmart was the first to cancel. They canceled my vintage collection, Cara Dune, that goes with my Mandalorian collection I've been trying to build. And then I got really super excited when I saw Dark Ray issued by Target and they were going to release her in January. And I kept getting notices that it was getting pushed back. And this morning, Target canceled that order. So I am now putting my orders with Dorkside Toys. They fulfill those. They ship them well. They're packed well. And for any collector, the frustration is just not worth it for me with Target and Walmart anymore. I may still order some through Amazon. We'll see. So far, Amazon's been okay. But again, there's a little hit and miss on the packing. Dorkside Toys, you have to pay more shipping. They're not as good with that as like Walmart or Amazon is, but they're more reliable. And for me, it's worth the reliability, knowing that I'm going to get what I order, and looking forward to having those shipped to me in a proper manner. So for me, that's the deal. So there's where we go with that. And then let me get caught up again here. Let's see. Ice pick grip. Stop watching The Witcher. The Witcher was pretty good, and they've got a season 2 coming, so I'll stay with it. The grip, I understand how ridiculous it is. There are a lot of things that are ridiculous when you get to these sci-fi kind of things, and every now and then I roll my eyes and complain, and then Mrs. Claus is like, "Oh, you're starting to sound like those people you complain about, Santa." So I have to back off. But yeah, I understand. You see Hayden Christian deepfaked as Vader in Return of the Jedi. No, I haven't seen that. Yeah, well, Walmart, Target, Amazon, you roll the dice. Yep. And I've given up on Walmart and Target for the most part. Not going to do it anymore. I'll stick with Amazon, but Dorkside's going to be at least my primary. You get no leverage, reach, or strength in ice pick reverse grip. Oh, okay, I got you. Lots of toy discussion on Discord too. That's right. Discord's the place to be. This is the server where Santa is an admin. I've got my own channel there, and we'll be discussing content for the channel on there as well. Shop Disney. Mark, Shop Disney to me has been extremely frustrating. Their selection is terrible. I keep getting notices of sales that they have, free shipping, all kinds of promotions. And every single time when I go out there to Shop Disney, they don't have what I want. And if you want toys that are not in the vintage collection or Black Series, then fine. But if you want to get your vintage collection or Black Series figures, Shop Disney has been extremely disappointing to me. So just not into that. But you said they have a whole wave, including Dark Ray. Maybe now that Dark Ray, is that the Black Series Dark Ray, or is that their other series? I know they've got most of the characters in their other series. It's a neat series, but it's not the classic vintage or retro or Black Series lines. Han and Lando should be CGI if they were to appear. Bob. I don't know. I think they did that with Luke in Mandalorian season 2, and I understand why. You really want to get that Mark Hamill in the list at the end, right? You really want to be able to say starring Mark Hamill or guest appearing Mark Hamill. You really want that with Luke Skywalker. But I'm on board now with replacing him and not going further into the deep fake or the CGI. Just have Sebastian Stan portray Luke Skywalker and move on. And I'm okay. I know a lot of people didn't buy into replacing Harrison Ford as Han Solo, but I'm on board with keeping the actor there as well. Black Series current wave with Quill. Okay, well, you're probably sold out, but they were there. Okay, yeah, my experience with Shop Disney has not been good. It's been worse than it has with Hasbro, as a matter of fact. Yep. I agree with you there on XRK with that. So the last point I want to bring up today, and we've exceeded an hour today, is doing some High Republic character reviews. Yesterday I mentioned how many characters that they introduced in the High Republic, and that there's just so many to learn that it gets hard to follow in the book. And so what I've thought about doing, as we did yesterday, I kind of dove into the Nile. And that's a pretty easy group to follow because there's really 4 main characters there. And once you kind of get Marchand Rose, the head of it, and then those 3 underlings, and without giving away spoilers too much, it's less than that. But when you follow those 4, it gets really easy to track. When you get into the light side users, it kind of gets tough because there's just so many names being dropped all the time. You're like, who's who? What is this person? I can't remember. So I've thought about starting soon doing character introductions for each of the characters covered in the High Republic, who they are, what they do, and what their involvement in the story is all about. So that's a thought I wanted to put out there. So please join us on Discord. Mark has given us the link a couple of times. Please join us on Discord and let me know your thoughts. Which character would you like to go into first? Avar Chris? I mean, she's obvious because she's right there at the top. But so maybe we'll get into Avar. We'll do her first. Then we'll cover each of the characters. We'll get into these. So please join us on Discord and interact. Let us know what you would like to cover in our discussions tomorrow, Wednesday. As far as snow notes are concerned, Wednesday we've started our weekly Bible study in the evenings. So I'm going to have to step out tomorrow. No live stream tomorrow, Wednesday, January 27th. No live stream. And then we'll pick back up Thursday with Imagic Maker on our regular Thursday show. So no live stream tomorrow. We'll talk with Imagic Maker Thursday. And then on Friday, we've got the Hasbro Pulse live event at 11 a.m. and a toy unboxing reveal to do immediately following that. I'll probably pre-record it and include it as a video in the live stream. So we'll go from the live stream, and then we'll play that, and we'll have discussion during it, and we can have discussion afterwards. So, and then I'll release that as a separate video, as a standalone afterwards. So look for that Friday as well. So, so there you go. Let's see. Get caught up. Witcher. Yeah. Witcher's. It was okay. The way that it ended was off. Weird. Yeah, Santa reacts. Thanks so much. I appreciate the feedback, you guys. You're wonderful. Having you here. We've got 15 viewers on here. I really appreciate your support, everyone, and I love spending time here with all of you, talking about Star Wars and our opinions. Look for us to get a panel review very soon for The Light of the Jedi. We'll have Gray, myself, and a couple others involved, and we'll talk about Light of the Jedi in a deep dive discussion. So until next time, Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.